Filing a tax return. There are two ways to file a tax return. You can do electronic filing or paper filing. First, we're going to talk about e-filing your tax return. You can e-file your tax return in the following ways. Using your own computer at home with software approved by the IRS for the purpose. You can engage the services of a tax preparer, a tax professional that will have a charge. You can use tools provided in the IRS the website to be able to e-file your tax return as well. You have the free file system that is a partnership in between the IRS and tax companies that provides tax preparation and free e-filing of the tax returns for low to moderate income people, usually below $64,000 of income. You may also be able to file your state returns for free. Then you have the free file fillable forms. If you have experience in preparing your own tax returns and you are familiar with the tax law, you can download, print, or prepare an e-file for free your tax return through the free file fillable forms available in the IRS website as well. They have like an electronic version of the paper returns. You can also go to an assistance center. There are two main kinds of assistance centers to prepare your tax return. One is the VITA program, Volunteers for Income Tax Assistance. They are certified by the IRS to assist people that have low to moderate income, usually below $54,000, or they assist disabled or the limited English-speaking populations that need assistance with their taxes. And it's free basic tax preparation. Then you have the TCE, Tax Counseling for the Elderly. They assist all kinds of taxpayers, but particularly their services are geared to seniors, people over 60 years of age that have issues related to pensions and retirement income. Most of these TCEs are run by the AARP Foundation Tax Aid Program. You will find information on how to find the VITA or the TCE centers at the end of the video in a slide. The second way to file your income tax return is through paper. If you are going to file a paper return, you need to make sure of three things. The first one is that you use the correct address to send your return. The second one is that you use enough postage to send your return. And the third one is that you postmark your return at the most at the due date for filing the return. If you miss the deadline, then you will be subject to payment, or probably will be subject to payment of interest and penalties. The IRS has regional offices where you need to send your tax return. And there are different offices depending if you are including or not a payment with your tax return. You have to be very careful to choose the correct office to send your tax return to avoid unnecessary delays. If you want to file a tax return of a previous year, you cannot e-file a tax return from a previous tax year. You will have to send a paper return, and you will have to send it to the same address depending on if you are including a payment or not, that you would need to send a paper return for the current tax year. Remember that you need to file a tax return whether or not you are going to pay for taxes that are due. There are two different tax duties. So even if you do not have the money to pay at the time the taxes that are due, you still have to file your tax return on time, or you will have to pay penalties for not filing, different than the penalties for not paying. And if for any reason you are not able to file your tax return on time, then you will need to request an extension of the time to file. There is another video talking about extensions.